Welcome to the short video on slope of a line. The slope of the line is also the same name as the rate of change. Okay, it's the angle of the line. What is it? What angle is it? Is it horizontal? Is it angling this way or the other way? If you take a look here, you'll see this looks very familiar. I told you in class that f of x is the same as y. We talked about that last time. So this looks very familiar. Y equals something times x, ax, plus a number. And we said in class that the b is the y-intercept. So in this case, the y-intercept is 4. Now we're trying to figure out what this number is. This is called the rate of change or the slope. So if we want to determine the equation of a line from a graph, we have to figure out the slope. So if you take a look at the slope here, this line, watch what happens as I change this number from a negative 4 to, say, a positive 5. Look what happens. The angle changes. As I make the number smaller, the angle gets lower. Watch what happens up here also. This number is changing. It matches what's here. If I make it 0, it's a horizontal line. Okay, you can play. I'll let you play around with that for a little bit. Okay, so here we go. The slope of the line is the same as the rate of change. There are many ways of writing slope. You can call it the rise over the run, which you probably heard. Change in y divided by change in x. Delta y over delta x. This is a science term. Change in y over the change in x, which is when you're looking at the change in something, you take one of the numbers minus the other. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We'll look at that a little bit later. Okay? What I'd like you to do for now is to find the slope just on a graph. We'll worry about these two later. So we're looking basically today at rise over run. And this will look very familiar to something that you did earlier. Okay, so let's find 2 points on this line. Find 2 points that you can read easily. This is one, and so is this. You don't want to choose something that's sort of in the middle, you're not quite sure. So what we do is we take a look at 1 point, the starting point. We'll call it point 1. It doesn't matter which one you're starting at. Okay? Point 1 and point 2. Remember in this that up, as in the number line, is positive, down is negative, and in the same way, to the right is positive, to the left is negative, just like the number line. So what I do is I start at one of the points, and I say, well, if I start here, how far do I have to rise to get to the same level as my second point? And I'm going to assume right now, if there's nothing on your grid, that everything is 1 or 2. It's at least the same scale. If it's a different scale, you have a different problem. So I'm going to say I'm going to go up 1, 2. So I'm rising. I'm going to write down rise over run. I'm rising 2, positive 2 because I went up. Now I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 over 6. Simplify this fraction. Do not turn it into a decimal. Is 1 over 3. Okay, so you might ask, well, wait a second. What happens if I start at point 2? Well, if you start at point 2, let's do this one in blue. If you start at point 2, excuse me, and go to point 1, well, how much do I rise? I'm going down 2, which is negative 2. I'm going to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the left 6, negative 6. A negative divided by negative is a positive, so I don't have to worry about those two. And 2 divided by 6, 2 over 6 simplifies to 1/3. So that is my rate of change. Now, we're going to be doing this later, but take a look at this. You know the equation of any straight line is y equals ax plus b. You replace the a and the b with, a gets replaced with the rate of change, and b, as you know, gets replaced by this number right here. So this looks like 1, 2. You'll have it right on the line if this is a question. This looks like 2.8. So something like 2.8. Okay, but it'll be an easier one to read. That's how we go from a graph to an equation. All I want you to worry about today is the slope. So you have a worksheet. Worksheet looks like this. And I'm going to take a look at the first one. Okay? What it says to do for each exercise, draw a line through the 2 given points. These are the first 2 points. Find the slope of this line. Write the letter of the exercise, B, in the box containing the slope. These are all slopes down here. And if you notice, not a single one of them is turned into a decimal. Okay, so let's look at the first one here. This is this in big form. Okay, 2 points. 4, 4 is 1. So this is my origin right in the middle. So I go x is first, followed by y. So 4 on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the y, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 point. Okay? B is 1, 2. 1, 2. Now take your ruler or the edge of your agenda or whatever you've been using as a ruler. Calculator doesn't work so well. And let's put a line right through it. All the way through to the end. Okay? This one looks like it's not bad. It's a little easier for you with a ruler, trust me. Whoops. Sorry. It's not good having both of them moving at the same time. Okay, let's just get rid of this here. Just put them in again. Okay, 4, 4, 2, 2. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes it's hard to see the middle. There it is. And 1, 2. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there's my line. So I know that these 2 points exist, so I'm going to do my rise and my run from here. So here we go. My rise, I'm going to go from this one to the next one, so I'm going up 2 over 3. So I'm rising 2, running 3. So my answer is 2/3. So I go back here. The answer to the first one is 2/3. Go down to the bottom. Where's 2/3? B. And then you get the absolute hilarious answer to the question, what did the inventor of the 10-ton truck so often say? Okay, so you have your instructions. What I'd like you to do is make sure you watch this a couple of times. Orkan's video is pretty good, except he drops his microphone in this one. And work with each other. You guys can do absolutely fine on this.